Disclaimer, copyrights enforced. The following is based on true events, facts, fiction, second-party observations, nonsense, hearsay, bullshit. You be the judge. One thing we guarantee is 100% pure entertainment. All names, places, persons, and things, etc. have been changed for privacy issues. This show is R-rated, may contain obscene language, nudity, not for persons under 18. Please listen responsibly. I'm ready, bros. I'm ready. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to Blowhard Talkhard here. Reimer, shut the fuck up. Welcome.
Come on.
Julian.
Reimer.
We're here.
Yes.
Everybody's good.
We were just talking some shit before the show got started. I'm all right, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, we always talk shit. We talk a lot of shit anyway.
We're
talking gold digger shit.
Yeah, we should have the fucking tape recording this, but that is...
Actually, yeah, we're going to make one of those calls. Again, we just named it. I forgot already.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, yeah. You guys all fucking think we're sick in the head, which we kind of are. More Reimer than me, but whatever.
Totally sick in the head.
Do you...
What?
What was I going to say? Education versus no education, because I wanted to talk, because we were talking about this a couple of days ago, and people back they were saying in the 70s, 60s, you can become a CEO without even going to school, being a box boy, and then the next thing you know, you own the store.
Right, you start off in the mailroom and you work your way to the top. That's the nice message of success.
There's certain guys who own businesses today who did that, and now they own the place. I forget the name of the companies, but they're huge. But today you can't do that, right?
I think you probably could if you got the initiative.
But you need the schooling.
But I think schooling also helps. I think business has totally changed more since like maybe one of the 80s recessions, and when everybody went back to university to get upgrades and shit like that.
That's right.
I think that.
Do you remember that guy you said back at that hotel? He had 30 years experience, the supervisor, and then there was a position for director, and he got over 30 years. He applied, they rejected him, and this guy knew everything. And then they had that 24-year-old kid, and a month later he was director. Like, what the fuck is that about?
I know, and then this guy has all the experience. The guy with 30 years knows more
about everything
than this kid has ever learned in a textbook.
No, this kid...
In fact, this guy had forgotten more than this kid will ever learn.
Yeah, and because he went to school and he got a paper saying that he studied, hotel management. Yeah. So that's my...
there's way more to be said about experience. So I think that story of like the guy working their way up from the mail room and all the way to the top.
But that doesn't exist anymore, I'm saying.
No. Actually,
they won't give you the chance if you don't have the papers. Unless your father, like my buddy, who was the CEO of fucking Rogers... He could get you a job. He'll call his buddy at National Post and say, give my kid a job. That's it.
Well, that's how you get
That's how you get the connection. But if you don't, they won't let you in the door.
Well, at the end of the day, a huge amount of it is also connections, man. You have to kind of know people to be lucky.
You need to have that guy, of course, but you also need to have the education.
Do you think it's applicable too, say, for like going back for a couple episodes, or eating pussy? Like, you can watch all the videos you want to tell you how to pleasure a woman until you get down there and get your face in the game.
Yes.
Yes.
Who knows if you're going to be any good at it? But you don't have to go to university. I guess you practice a lot at university.
You want to hope so, because what are kids these days doing it?
I have no clue what these kids play video games. That's all I know.
Listen. I had someone give me some nice coaching when I was younger. Wonderful French Canadian woman, and she was like, "Hey, listen, this is how you got to work it, and just take your time." And was all about doing a little bit of practice and research.
How old were you?
I was 40, and no, I was in my
funny thing is, you're making
20s.
a joke. I believe it. No, I'm just gonna say, like, in that because we were talking about it's kind of like not fair because a teacher, one of my buddy's wife's a teacher.
Yeah.
So now they're doing all these online shit because of the COVID.
Yeah.
She can't keep up because she's not computer literate to the point as a 25-year-old is because she's 50.
Okay.
So she's like something that would take my niece 10 minutes to do takes her 3 hours. My niece has double screens going.
Right. And
because she's born with this shit.
Yeah.
And the other ones, like, they fight it, and it's not fair.
Because it hasn't been in their wheelhouse of expertise, and they're not trying to
our generation, we had typewriters, bro. Remember?
Yeah.
In high school, did we have typewriters in high school? Or
yeah, we did. Yeah. We did. I remember fucking failing my typewriting test because you had to have something. You had to do 30 words a minute or 32 words a
What's
minute.
what's a good typewriter? A computer person to type.
No, fuck.
You type with one finger or two?
Oh, no, I can do all the fingers. I can type. I can type without looking.
Really?
Yeah.
Bullshit.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
Like I wish my typewriting teacher could see me now.
No, you're on your computer. You don't have to look. You could go.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, but hey, I'm not doing 100 words a minute. I've seen those people who fucking like
No,
belt
never
out.
mind that. You can still, without looking, you can type.
I think I do probably like 60 words a minute. Not accurately, but I do it. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
Who yourself?
Right.
I can't. I have to look.
Yeah, but it takes me fucking forever to formulate a sentence. Going okay, so what takes like somebody who's got reasonable proficiency 10 minutes takes me 25, maybe an hour. Yeah.
Because you don't know the words.
I don't know the words. I don't have the access to the vocabulary and the correct spelling of everything, man.
So who has the advantage? The kids today or before?
Well, in that wheelhouse of like, what are we talking? Typing? Yeah, typing kids.
No,
now.
not only type. Like they're getting what's it called? They're because they're bored with it. They're getting that. I think they're cheating because now there's spell check. There's this. There's that. How many phone numbers did you know back in the day?
Oh yeah, all of them.
40, whatever you knew.
For sure. Yeah.
Now, how
everybody who
many
had a
people
phone. Any of my friends.
Now you know nothing.
I don't even remember mine sometimes.
They leave their house. Yeah, exactly. They leave their house. They put their GPS on.
Yes.
They don't even know how. My sister was driving to work. She took Lawrence straight across.
Okay.
There was construction one day. She followed my brother-in-law and goes, I don't know how to get to work. He goes, well, go one down or one up. She ended up going home.
Wow.
Anyway, she doesn't drive no more because she's obviously useless.
Okay, if I'm going somewhere I don't know, I put on the GPS. I want to know the time of my arrival. That Google Maps is pretty good at getting the time right. But it does make my brain dumb. And then if you ask me to go again without the GPS, I have no idea how I got there in the first place because I was following the map.
See, that's the thing. That's where you have to go to Dixie and Highway 7. But then there's a small street called Bob Street. I know how to go to Dixie and Highway 7.
Okay.
So back in the day, we used to get the Pearlies. And so I used to make a little note. Okay, once you get off the highway, you make a left, a right, you're there.
Boom.
That's it.
Okay, so a lot of the shortcuts I've learned in this city are from like taxi drivers, like the old school ones.
The guys who actually know how to drive.
Who know how to drive, know all the ins and outs.
Yeah.
And I still use those techniques. Absolutely. The GPS doesn't give me that.
The Uber guys they take the fucking GPS too seriously and they follow the streetcars for a 10-minute ride. It takes them 30.
Yeah, you're allowed to say, listen, let's go this way.
I was gonna do it once to this one guy. I usually do that. One guy had that face.
Yeah.
I didn't say it because he looked like he was gonna fucking stab me. And I'm like, look at this fucking guy. Either I get into a big argument here or just let him follow the streetcar.
But this is with a GPS. I try to if I got an idea because I've only returned to driving. because recently, I've driven a long time, but then living in Toronto, you don't need a fucking car when you're downtown. You don't.
Well,
realistically, you're
do you
paying
mean?
the
So I
fucking
can take
ridiculous insurance.
So I
for
can take
second
the
lane.
bus, you see?
Most places you will walk. I used to be all for walking and
Yeah, I don't walk.
and
I
shit.
drive around the block to go to the corner store.
My world used to be fucking Lakeshore to fucking.
I get it. My corner store is at the top. My street is south. I get in my car. I drive down. I drive up, go to the store, and then come back. I don't walk fucking nowhere. I don't take the subway.
No, but now without the but now when I'm driving, I try to use my brain as much as possible. It's definitely a different way of thinking. I think the way we use GPS now in the world
It's not even about the GPS.
Well,
It's about the fucking education. I'm trying to say,
yeah.
But we're relying too much. We're relying too much on the technology.
That's right.
We don't have to do the heavy thinking, the heavy lifting, if you will. So therefore, we don't really have the neural pathway developed to go, hey, I can figure this out on my own. So now we can become almost invalids to the technology because now we don't have to learn anything. I forgot so much shit because I just go to my phone and ask questions.
And now you're allowed to bring your phone when you do a test.
Really?
You're allowed to bring a computer. Forget about that. You're in school now having an exam.
Wow.
We didn't even allowed to bring a calculator. We were allowed to bring a calculator. That's it.
No, for the longest time you couldn't use a fucking calculator for
But now they could bring their laptop.
Yeah.
But when you go to school now,
Because now it's about, do you know how to use the technology?
I guess.
That's what they're trained
So
because in the
when
future
we
you don't have
wrote
to
a
use brain.
5-page essay and we made all those spelling mistakes, grammar error, now it just corrects everything for you. So what the fuck are you?
But you also have to have the intelligence to know that you're using the right word, right? Because you could put down peace as in world peace or peace as in.
I'm sure there's programs that actually correct that too.
Probably like Grammarly or something like that.
Something,
But-
yeah, a little bit
but
more
if
than a
you get-
spell check.
But if you have the right spelling, but you didn't use the right word, it'll just skim it over.
Yeah, I guess I could see that happening, but that's again very minor compared to you writing 5 pages with your hands, like with your fucking pen.
Yeah. You just have to handwrite, and then you had to cursive rate, and then now you don't have to do any of that.
Well, and you had to use to find a guy to
Yes.
go to the store to buy you the penthouse and then find a very good hiding place in your house so your parents didn't know you were jerking it. Now you just clear your browser history and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Mine clears automatically. I have it on the settings.
There you go. So
Yeah.
you're
I don't have
even
it saved.
lazier.
I don't have it saved for like 10 hours.
Duck, duck, go, man. Yeah.
It's like see it, gone. See it, gone.
So they're total, like, again, you know, you learn fast not to just keep it
Is
under
it
the
true
mat.
that
gotta get a
Google,
VPN.
is it true that Google, everything you search, they know?
Yeah.
Of course. There's
They're
zero.
fucking fucked. So everything
CIA.
But but any search. So that's why you need a VPN, right, to hide your shit. But
you can't. They still know.
you can add layers of security onto this. But it goes through.
Snowden said you can't. They know everything you search.
Google does.
Yeah. If you
They're
type in,
zerping it up. Like,
if you type anything, they see what you type. And if it's something weird, they know your IP address and they come.
Oh yeah. That's what people are fucking those criminal trials. Like every now and then it comes up like going, but you searched this, but you deleted this browsing history between this and this time. And we went into Google and we found out these are the words you were searching.
Yeah.
Right? And they can tell if you chose the predictive text or not predictive text.
Yes.
So when criminals nowadays think they're being smart with the technology,
Yeah.
they fucking forget about your freedom of rights, man. They've got you pinpointed your
Yeah.
location, who you're with, times, the text messages, your browsing, all that. Because
Yeah,
you're
but
holding
that's
the
where you
fucking.
have to already set up the meets in
People are worried about
person.
getting a chip in their body, but the fucking phone is better than the chip in your body.
Well, the way we used to do it, I mean, the
Or
way
worse.
people used to do it were like, we already have 10 meeting places. So I say, I'll meet you at TD.
Yeah.
I'll meet you at Nova Scotia.
You
I'll
knew
meet
where
you
it
at the
was.
theater.
Yeah.
So I could text you that. What theater? What fucking Scotia? What TD? But you got to have that already pre-planned.
Oh yeah, well even
I didn't do that. Those are the people who used to do stuff like that.
pre-cell phone, pre-cell phone. You like
Not even pre-cell phone, even now. But the thing is,
you got to call somebody from a payphone. They're going to meet you here and here, and you had to be there.
you needed to roll a quarter. So there's, where are you going? I'm going to
Yeah.
Scarborough. I'll be back. 10 minutes later, where are you? I told you, you idiot. Don't fucking text me again. Not text.
Page
beat
me.
me. Page me.
Hey, but going back to it is about a lot of it is about experience, and education does help, man. Life is going to give you some education.
Well, put it this way. If you don't have any school today, you're fucked, right? You work at Tim Hortons for the rest of your life.
Right, but if you have a university degree, you can work at Starbucks.
That's right.
Yeah,
A little
that's
bit better.
a
They
little
think
bit
they
better,
give you
yeah.
a little bit better. They have a better dental plan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
and better
Yeah.
coffee.
50,000 students a year graduate from UFT. How many get jobs? 5?
Depends how many Starbucks are in your neighborhood, I guess.
There's a lot. So
Yeah, coffee shops.
give me a fucking grande.
Yeah,
Is that what it's called?
it is.
Latte grande.
Medium. Give me a medium.
They don't
does
say
that mean?
medium.
I want to, yeah, because the tall is now the small.
Grande is medium.
See, I didn't
Yeah.
go to
Venti
university.
is large.
Yeah.
Nobody could hear you, Pat. You're just mumbling.
Venti or venti.
Oh, yeah? Oh, good. good.
Venti?
Venti.
That's why I didn't go to university, so I have no idea what Starbucks is.
There you go.
That's why.
It's intimidating is what it is.
So I got to go to university, then get a job at Starbucks.
So I recently saw that, what's his name, Elon Musk, he applied or was trying to apply for a job at Microsoft or IBM, and he never got it.
I'm going to be stupid and ask you. I know the name, but who is he?
Tesla.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
so-
they obviously he's overqualified.
Yeah, I think he was just an engineer at that time. Like,
I think there's
Well,
a
he
thing
came from a
called
lot
when
of
you're overqualified. I think it's they don't want you because they have to pay.
yeah.
That's a big thing too, right? That's
Yeah.
why I'm not like at the present moment. I'm really not working because I'm overqualified.
Sometimes companies also just want minions.
No, yeah, neat.
You know, like, oh, you're a thinker. Sorry, we don't need you kind of around here.
It's all again back in the day. I think I told you this story. I don't think I said it on the show. When we were the Jays won the World Series in '92, '93, we were at the Hard Rock Cafe,
Yeah.
and beside me was the vice president IBM Vancouver. So he kept hearing me shoot the shit with the guys, blah blah blah. After a while, I looked over. We started talking. He looked at me and he goes, "I'll trade my top 10 salesmen to bring you to Vancouver to be a salesman." I go, "I know nothing about computers." He goes, "Don't worry about it. I'll teach you the words. That's easy. You have the skill set to sell."
Yeah.
And when he said that, he was there willing to pay. And I'm like, I can't go, whatever. But that's what I'm saying. Back then, it was easier. I didn't know nothing about computers. But he goes, don't worry about it. My top 10 salesmen did to bring. I was like, this guy fucking around?
Yeah, wow. That's the type of skill though they don't teach in school. Like it's sort of an inherent and that comes from like world experience and being out there and being open.
And that's what he noticed. He noticed
yourself.
that the conversation. He goes, this guy fucking's got the gift of the gab. He goes, he can outsell my 10 guys.
Yeah, and again, I don't know what modern education is like myself because it's been a long time since I've been in university.
I think it sucks.
But our coding is one thing, and Zoom classes are another. But also, are you out there actually learning hard skills, which are things like between individuals, being in society, learning actual things? I mean, you don't need to do all your math on an abacus, but like taking the time just to think, what does this add up to? What does this mean to my life? Like exactly like, will this relationship actually be properly transactional? These are like hard skills.
Another skill, example. When I used to work in the factory, like back in the day, like 20 years ago, they used to sell boxes. It was a carton printing corrugated boxes. So they had 5 salesmen. Okay. One guy made $1 million.
Whoa.
2 guys made 300,000. The other guy made 100. The other guy made 30. All selling the same product. Why? Because the one guy had the charisma, the attitude, the fucking go-get, what Pat was just saying.
Okay. I was just listening to the radio. I don't know if it's CBC or something like this. They're talking about the sales conundrum that in companies, it's usually 20% of your sales team do something like 80% of the business. You just said it right there. 5 guys, 1 guy is doing it all.
He's the king, yeah.
He's the king.
And now how do you justify making 30,000 and keeping that guy on your team?
But now if you promote that guy because he is the best, then you lose all the business because you got people doing mediocre sales when your top salesman is now the boss. But if you promote the...
Overqualified.
Yeah, he's overqualified, but he used to do $1 million in sales.
Yes.
But so now you got these other guys that are doing, a third of what he did.
That's right.
He's not making the same money.
That's
so
right.
now if you promote one of the guys who's doing the shitty job, right, who's doing a third, then the top sales guy gets pissed off and then doesn't.
No, he doesn't because he's still making the money. He goes, I don't need the fucking headache.
No. Because why is that guy get the promotion?
Maybe for respect.
Out of respect, because people in our mindsets going, oh, well, I'm the best. I should be receiving the throne. So now they're not going to work as hard, or they might move to another company. So how do you keep people satisfied in the world of sales? Is an interesting question.
It's Glengarry Glen Ross, the classic, where it's like top, the first best salesman, you get a Cadillac. Yeah. Second place, you're fired. Oh no, second place was steak knives. Third place, you're fired.
That's pretty much after a couple of, and especially commission.
You want a coffee?
Pays.
Coffee's for winners.
Anyways, let's take a break. Starbucks is hiring.
Hello, Blow Hard, Talk Hard listeners. We would like to ask you to do all those things that podcasts ask you to do. That's like, subscribe, review, share with your friends, post this on iTunes, tell people that you're listening to Blow Hard, Talk Hard, and we look forward to hearing more from you.
Welcome back, listeners. Reimer.
Yeah, I'm back here.
Tell us about that, what we were talking about, the Starbucks.
I was working at the Sky Dome, right? Beer vending. And
so you're the beer guy?
Yeah.
When was this?
Oh man, it was not long ago before everything shut the fuck down.
I love the J games.
I miss being in the park, man.
I hate those fucking beers are garbage, man. But anyways, overpriced, warm.
They are overpriced. 100%.
And warm.
Like more than 100% overpriced. Well, you're paying what, like $12? Yeah, you're paying $12 for a Bud Light? Come on.
And what kind of a shape you were in? You must have been in good shape up and down those fucking stairs.
Yeah, you're hoofing like what, maybe 30 to 50 pounds going up and down stairs. And back in the day when you work on the 500s, it was like almost like a 45-degree incline. And you walk up those fucking stairs.
They have beer vendors up there too?
Yeah, man, that's where you go when you're a rookie. And if you survive that long enough, then you move down to the 100s where
the
stairs are not as steep and the money is way, way better. On the top, it started at the top, now I'm here. Now I'm at the bottom serving beer. That is the best way to do it.
I never knew that. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't think they served up there.
Fucking carrying 50 pounds of beer going up the stairs, and then some little, punk who's like...
Has anybody fallen?
Maybe, and I don't never that I know, but some little punk, that's like, barely legal, gives you like no tip or 25 cents, you're like, fuck you. But you do it anyways because that 25 cents is better than no tip at all. But you learn to hustle. You learn the hustle, man. It's a great way to.
Let me ask, there was that Filipino guy that used to carry it on his head. Is there a guy that carries the beer things all on his head and walks up and down the aisles?
Is it the famed ice cold beer guy?
I don't know what the fuck he's called.
I
I thought he was
There's so much diversity on the fucking.
a guy. He
sound
carries
beer.
the
I have
whole
no
thing
idea.
on his head, the whole beer thing, and
Yeah?
he would yell, "Hey, beer, blah blah blah, ice cream, beer."
Oh, there's the popcorn and
So that's why he
those
had it
guys.
on his head.
yeah.
Yeah, because the beers would be too heavy.
Beers, yeah, man. You carry like 4 or 5 flats of beer in there. That's
How long would it take you to sell a case of the beer, what you had in your head at the 100 levels?
it would take. Well, depends. Hey, who's in town?
Yankees.
Yankees go fast,
That's
man.
money, yeah.
Yeah. So Yankees, Chicago, Boston. Those are beer games. Those are way
You're
more
telling
likely
me
to
that if
drink than
the
a Houston
fucking if
game.
Cleveland's in there, we're not drinking.
Well, if Cleveland shows up,
Cleveland's a rival, but
No, just like I'm
Not-
saying, like, does it really matter who's the team?
Yes,
People who go
yes.
there.
Yes.
I'm not talking about the New Yorkers coming in. I'm talking the Toronto people drink more because the Yankees are here.
Well, you get some people who are just fans of a team, or you get the Americans who come in.
No,
that
no,
are
don't count
yeah.
them.
No, they're a huge part of it. Like, but your regulars, also, it's an evening game. It's home. It's Friday night. The dome is open.
Yeah.
It's fucking hot, right? And the bats are fucking flying, and it's like every time there's a home run,
Yeah.
boom, you can capitalize on a beer sale right there because people are like, celebrate with a beer, and people are like, yeah, I'll take one of those.
Yeah. Like,
You know? But when you're cold and you're behind on the count and there's no way you're coming back, and
It's-
no matter
everyone's
how
like,
hard you
"Let's
want to
get the
rally,
fuck outta here."
let's get the fuck out of here,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Why am I going to spend any more money on fucking
yeah.
booze
Let's
and be
beat the
disappointed?
traffic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly your thinking. So, but then there's been nights that the Jays are like, it's not going to be their night, but it's a good time because the park's got that energy.
So what were you saying about this whole point of this story?
because we're talking about education.
Yeah, you learn pretty quick on that job. What was the? The point was
There was a point.
There was a point because you were telling me about the guy you met. It was like the head of IBM.
Yes.
Well, so some guy comes up to me and says, "Hey, man, you are really good with personability and being a salesman."
I agree.
That you should get in touch with. He was a car dealer, but he was way fucking in Ajax. He says there's good money in this, and
There
you don't
was
have to be
good
going up
money.
and down this. Well, yeah, you don't have to be going up and down the stairs. I'm like, huh. Yeah, and it was Audis. And like, oh, fuck Audis. I don't like Audis. I ain't going to give this guy. No, I don't know what, I forgot what it was. Probably like a Honda or something like this. But he was very, very genuine. I was like,
I believe it.
yeah.
Yeah. You have a personal.
but now to go, shit, maybe I should have called.
Well, you know what? Car salesmen only get 1%.
Is that all?
Yeah, it's not.
Well, 1% on 20
You know
grand
what?
is,
But if you move, they move 5 cars a week.
there you go, man.
Yeah, it adds up.
You banging off, even 10 cars a month would be a nice little chunk of change.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah.
But I think it goes back to just what you guys were talking about, education, like sort of those hard skills, things like beer vending. People don't understand that is such a crazy experience for life because you're dealing with thousands of people selling something. You're moving up and down. You have to be sociable. Like all the best
It's
beer
a tough
vendors,
job, man.
Yeah.
and all the best ones we know that we were just chatting with off mic are usually like sort of actors and comedians who have these great sort of no fear social skills.
Yes.
And it also speaks to yourself, one of these guys who doesn't suffer fools and you don't really have any fear, where you're not like, listen, I'll talk to you straight up like a person.
Yeah.
And if you are not a person to me, then I don't have time for you because I can sniff that out in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like if you're just a fucking dope who's gonna nickel
lot of
and dime
dopes
me over
around,
one
but
beer,
yeah.
yeah.
That's what the difference is with a top sales guy or to just a regular fucking idiot.
I'll tell you, my beer sales are definitely like getting tips is a lot higher than some people. Some people can do volume,
But no
right?
tips.
But low on the tips. Whereas if you have some personality and like
Yeah, you make
engage,
that stupid comment. You
Make
know
that
what?
one
Keep the
yeah.
$5, bro.
boom. Like that's considering you're not walking your ass from the seat, standing in line for 10
It's a
minutes.
big deal. Yeah. And
It
you
is
know
a
what?
big
If you
deal.
made that wisecrack and I found it amusing, here, keep the $5.
But then there's some guys who are just fucking douchebags.
They're just idiots.
And they
Yeah.
go, oh yeah, here, give me. I want exact change back. You go, really? The 25 cents? Really?
They say exact change back.
There's some people who I've had an argument with a guy
Isn't
over
there a
quarter.
rule? Do you have to tip them?
No, there should be, but they're not because the corporation doesn't want
Oh.
I think there's maybe some ballparks in the U.S. They get a commission on how much they sell, but they don't do that in Canada because they don't want to incentivize
Alcohol.
drinking. Yeah.
Well, there's a good shout out to another podcast, probably people are familiar with, Planet Money, but there's a good episode where they go to Boston to Fenway and they talk to the beer vendors at Fenway. And
Yeah, we talked about
Reimer
this.
and I have talked about it because it was like, I was like, listen to it, and because they do some funny things, but like, listeners go and check it out.
Yeah.
But it's just fascinating.
And it changed my game a little bit too, man. Because yeah,
You want your coins, sir?
yeah. Because who wants coins back? Going, and I've done that, and then there'll be something. Yeah, I go.
Is that why when you go to a strip joint, a Heineken and a shot of Crown Royal is $20.10?
Of course.
That's the oldest trick in the book.
Genius fucking
$20.10. I look at the girl, I go, are you kidding? Really?
Yeah, but guaranteed.
I wish I had 10 cents in my pocket to give it to her.
Guaranteed, she has a roll of fucking nickels to give to you if you don't give her that tip, man.
But, well, they knew me, so I just run a tap. But the thing is, $20.10. Like, why not make it $21.50, and that way I give you $3.50?
Yeah. Let's just round it up and call it a day. Like,
Yeah, like $20.10.
because if that 25 cents or that
10
that buck,
cents.
I know, but like if you're like tipping and it's a round number, is like it's a 50 cents on like a 10.50 beer. Really, if it's gonna break you to not have that 50 cents. Why you thank you? Don't even buy the beer in the first place.
Yeah, you can't
go to the counter.
Yeah, exactly. $20.10. It's like, okay, here, 20 to
But
10.
you know what? Going to experience, you could teach like at the beginning. They send you through a little bit of a beer vending college. They say, okay, this is how you sell the beers. They don't even tell you how to sell the beers. I had one guy come in and go, guys, this is what you need to do to sell beer. All right, you got to be personable. You got to recommend the tip, right? If you feel that they're not going to tip, going, hey, would like to leave a tip, right? When you're giving the money back, though technically you're not supposed to say that. But then they might also incentivize somebody giving you a tip because not everybody thinks to tip. They've never been to a ballpark or they know that maybe at a restaurant they would tip.
You're lugging around beer, of course they don't want to give you a tip.
Yeah, but you don't tip the popcorn guy.
You don't tip the pop. Well, the guys going up and down the stairs getting tipped.
Sure you do.
But they also get a commission because they're not getting the same money.
Because
as a beer guy.
alcohol's more, right?
Yeah, because you tip your server. But
You know what, man? To end this conversation, tip the fucking beer guy, man.
you know what? Better yet, just a good tip. But when you become...
Just put in the tip. That's
Yeah,
it.
just the tip. No, I'll give the whole.
But when you specialize in something...
Please, just the tip.
When you specialize in something, you've given your life to something, you've learned it really well, man. Whether you are a restaurant manager,
Yes. Know your thing inside out.
Yeah, for
Nobody
sure.
can tell you
Computer
anything.
guy.
Yeah.
You're working your way up. You're a great CEO or a team manager.
A fun fact, I'm going to ask you. We were going to end it, but I have one thing to say. This guy is a doctor, and he writes a book. And he writes in the book, he interviews 12 CEOs in Toronto.
Okay.
I'm not going to say who they are. And the guy's title is Financial Manager, CEO, Department, whatever.
Yeah.
The guy goes, okay, great. So what do you do exactly? What does your job mean? 12 guys, they gave gibberish answers. They did fuck all. So they just basically have these titles, and they don't do anything. Like there's no like.
There's no really specific duties that they do.
They had no specific job. They could go up there at 9 in the morning and do nothing all day, and everything would still be fine.
Man.
And that's the fucking. It was very, very funny.
See, and that's
Going to what you said. You should know your fucking job.
Know your job.
These guys couldn't even describe what they do.
And then I think that's equal to having that university education, man. Like you should be recognized for that because the experience counts. I know.
And you get experience as you grow.
Yeah.
But you can't kick a guy down for 30 years experience or a CEO who doesn't know his job title and then he doesn't even know the definition of his job.
I worked at a hotel. Let me tell the story. I worked at a hotel. So wrapping all that up into this is there was this guy who'd worked there for like 50 years, right? Fresh off the boat. First job he ever had, only job he ever had.
Yeah.
Always on time, never sick. Got sick on his days off. That was his attitude. Hard-nosed, old-school Greek guy. And when he retired, there's one guy, when he retired, they replaced him. Because he never used a computer, by the way. Everything was done by notes, which pissed everybody off. Going, use a computer, put in the computer. It's like, no, I talked to you personally, do this. When he left, they had to hire 4 people to take over his job, and they had to end up having to hire 2 more people after that because he had everything under control. People just didn't know how he managed
But
so
yeah,
much.
he controlled everything. He had his system down.
He had a system.
And when he left, the place fell apart.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And that was experience. And you tell me that guy had a university degree? No, these kids had university degrees and couldn't figure out what the hell he was doing.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't know. You drive by the university, and all you see is a bunch of people with backpacks, walking around like fucking zombies. Anyways, on that note.
No, I think that, again, that's what I'm just saying. Like real world experience, doing the job, getting out there though, and getting
That's why in high school back in the day they used to have co-op programs. We used to go out for a week and work in an actual place. Then you get paid.
Yeah.
But at least you know what? I got hired when I went to co-op.
Of course.
By the company that gave me the job. Like
yeah. You know what? If you stayed there 25 years back in the day, you get a full fucking pension. I don't get that nowadays. Listen.
I have to quote this from Reimer and I's friend Eric, who's one of these guys who is a real guy who's like a true person. And he's like, sometimes you just want to get on the fucking forklift and move the boxes yourself. You got to do that. And that's the only way you know exactly where the stuff is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't rely on someone else to get on.
What's the expression? The best way to do something is to do it yourself.
And that's how you learn how to do it too.
But at the same time, it's also having other people do it for you.
Yeah, man.
That's the luxury you're all working towards.
That's when you become CEO.
That's eventually, yeah, exactly. You end up being the fucking, you own the place and you do all the work too. Fuck it.
But the real world experience, go out there, eat some pussy. Practice.
Fuck Starbucks. Anyways, Julian.
Reimer.
We're all people. Be safe. See you next week.